All right, welcome in. My name is Beza. I'm joined here by my lovely co-host Ember. Ember, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, we've got a very interesting game ahead of us. We've got Berlin Bonobos versus EC Shinzoku. Sorry, my some stuff behind on my side is glitching a little bit. I hope that doesn't continue.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've got Berlin Bonobos versus EC Shinzoku's. And I mean, I'm feeling. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't have my opinion on a specific team on where we're going. But yeah, I mean, both teams seem pretty confident considering
Yeah.
sorry, I said that with a little bit of a question. Both teams seem a little bit confident going into this game. Like with their scoring as well.
Yeah, and with the new season recently rolled around, there's been a few changes up in the picks and bans here. I believe Shinzoku, looking from what I'm seeing, to be playing Hazard, kind of Kiri Lucio faster comps. How's that looking in the newer season? Is there anything to worry about with that kind of thing, or are we looking like this is a comfortable comp for them to go into here?
I mean, the Hazard have been has been like sorry, I'm losing my words. You tend to see Hazard a lot more than when he first came out. Especially on very back-to-back fights. Like on Flashpoint, I believe it's Suravasa that Hazard is a go-to almost for a lot of teams, especially now that Zarya Vendetta, good riddance, has gone. But you still see some teams try and run like Zarya Vendetta, or the oddball trying to run the diva. But Hazard has some pretty good plays, and it'd be interesting to see where they try to apply that on other game modes.
And looking at Berlin Bonobos, they're looking to be playing a Sigma Kiri Lucio with Cassidy Genji, which is a little different to the Sojin and Reaper from Shinzoku. For me, feels like a bit more lenient towards Shinzoku's more comfortable matchup there, but we'll have to see how each team kind of adapts to the kind of play style of the opposing team, obviously. And moving on from these two teams, though, matches of the week, I believe. What do you got for me, Ember?
We've got quite a few games going on. We've got SYN Adventuring. We've got Jitty Party versus APL Luna. Berlin Bonobos versus EC Shinzoku for the Challengers Division, with your stack getting the bye this week. And we also have, over in the Champion Division, we have Connecting Circus versus Avoid List, Pixies versus the Unlucky Omens, and HGI Amber versus EC Managama. Now, I would like to add that two teams have dropped out from the Crown Cup between last week and this week. I'm just trying to find the information for it. Yeah, so Glock Dust Crusaders and Novak Celestia have left us early. But yeah, I mean, we've had a few games already play out. We've had GD Party versus APL Luna ending in a reverse sweep for GD Party. And I believe Connecting Circus versus Avoid List was played, I believe it's either being played today or it was played yesterday. But I think the other matches are being played on Saturday, except, of course, Berlin Bonobos versus EC Shinzoku, which is today's match.
Yeah, and speaking of today's match, let's have a look, I believe, at the current standings for the teams. I believe both teams right now, 2-1 in the bracket. There we are, both teams 2-1. This is kind of a winner gets a lot more comfortable in their bracket stages. Any team walking away with a 3-1 here is going to be very comfortable with this, to say the least. So 3-0, I believe, from GD Party as well. Incredibly well done from them during this group stage. Hopefully they're going to be looking to go for a 4-0 for their match as well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely secures them in a very very safe position. They can afford to lose a game. I think that's a very, very like GD Party are in a very comfortable position. Because even if they have a bad day where they're not performing the best, it seems to be that they'd still be qualifying, or at the very least they'd be maybe tied for qualification. I think that's a very strong position to be in. Leading the standings and being able to afford that loss if that happens, of course.
Yeah, of course. GD Party very comfortable right now. And speaking of very comfortably, Nectar Circus, I might have mispronounced that one. That's my fault. Looking 3-0 as well. Another team currently very comfortable in these bracket stages up at the champion division. Another similar situation as well. A few teams that are 2-1 that any win here could put them in a make or break situation. How does the champion division bracket look for you?
It's I mean, it's a very similar story to how GD Party are. You can afford to have a one loss. You can afford to have a bad day and still be able to make it. Because I believe if Connecting were to lose a match, they'd be taken to 4th place, which is still in is still in the bracket in order to play in playoffs.
Yeah, so looking very comfortable here for both teams right now, which is definitely a position that you're going to be feeling. Maybe you don't want to be looking to be too overzealous. Maybe you want to be making sure that you can maintain the gap, but at the same time, you can't really blame them for being a little bit comfortable in that position. But speaking of uncomfortable as well, the two teams that we've got today, Shinzoku and Berlin Bonobos, both of them fighting here for what might just be the make or break. Looking at the comps as well, very much contrasting compositions here. Very much both just as strong as each other. We've seen a lot of Sigma, Kiri, Mizu being played recently. We've seen a lot of Ana Cat as well at the EWC finals as well from Zeta Division. And I'm seeing a lot of teams trying to copy that success. I wonder if maybe a team might be throwing in a wrench in the works, as you might, to trying out that Cat Ana. How do you feel about that Cat Ana, though?
I mean, with Cat's recent changes, I think it kind of discourages that Castian play that many players have learned to despise. And it now it seems like that we can now see Cat played by itself. In I believe Face It Masters, all the way in South America, the grand finals. Element was able to play that Cat by itself and have these crazy plays where you drop the Morgarin into the middle of the fight, and they'd survive somehow. Like it was like magic, and that using the catnaps to like in an overtime situation, using the catnap to bring someone off of the point, resulting them in that map win. Like you saw so many crazy plays, but again, I think Cat has a lot of you can play Cat a lot of different ways and still thrive as the main support. But then again, running that Cat into instead of say a Juno or a Lucio, kind of depreciates some value that you would have otherwise had. Lucio and Juno are both played for speed, but Juno's got that little bit more healing and more on person healing. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what we see here. We could see the Cat, we could see the Lucio, we could see anything. Especially with it not being as high stakes as a playoffs. The group stages are times where teams may want to experiment with what they want going into it, or they could be there's so many different possibilities for what teams can play. It could be that
Yeah.
we don't see the Sigma from Bonobos. It could be that we see something much like akin to Sigma, but that outstanding weakness of not really having that movement is gone because they're playing another hero with a movement option. And it does look like that we have map and bans for this first game.
Yeah, here we go. Looking into the map pick, Li Zhang. Now, that was definitely a comfortable pick from both of them. They had been listed as well to be preferring Li Zhang. I think most teams will be looking to play Li Zhang as well. Very much a standard, comfortable, easy to fall back to comp. But looking at Li Zhang as well, maybe we'll be seeing a lot more Lucio. Both teams wanted to play the Lucio. So we'll be seeing a lot of fast-paced here, turn-based kind of brawling out on Li Zhang. So that's our map pick. I believe we'll look into the bans as well in just a second. Zarya Metra.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean,
It's definitely
Bonobos
what I
immediately
expected.
getting rid of the Symmetra. I don't
Yeah,
think I'd
Symmetra's
get rid of
interesting.
such a strong pick immediately.
Yeah, Symmetra's definitely interesting, but it's a very comfortable pick on Li Zhang, definitely. Very easy, especially with both teams preferring that Lucio Kiri kind of play. But anything else to add before we throw to our lovely casters?
I mean, I was gonna talk mention about how Symmetra's best. I'd say Symmetra's best map is Lijiang Night Market, and getting rid of that is highly valuable for both teams. But I don't think I'd get rid of some. I don't think if I was in Bonobos' situation, I'd get rid of the Symmetra immediately. I probably would have focused a DPS that Shinzoku are known to play. But we'll see how this game goes.
Yeah, of course, definitely though. If there's a map to do it, this is the map to ban Symmetra. But with that out of the way, throwing it over to the casters. Let's see the gameplay.
Hello.
Welcome
Glasses
back
seem
to
to
the
have
Crown
fallen off.
Cup. We've got a wonderful game coming up, and thank you guys so much for that analysis. As we're waiting to load into the map here, let's get a good look at those player rosters. Starting out, I presume with Berlin Bonobos, at least is what I have first on my sheet. And indeed it is. It's going to be Atsi on the tank, prefers that Sigma, as our desk mentioned. Mostak Snack and Mikey on the DPS line, and Oblo and Powie, I believe, is the pronunciation for that, on the support.
Yeah.
On the other hand, EC Shinzoku, we'll be looking at Shadow AI, Obito, Pablo, Delta, and Plateau. So it's nationality-wise, something that should be mentioned is Berlin Bonobos, of course, as you might expect from the name, a full German team. But EC Shinzoku, actually majority from the nation currently leading both divisions, and that a certain caster happens to be wearing a jersey of today, Sweden. I'm completely unbiased in this cast because of that. But look forward to be seeing both teams' amazing performances.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to be biased towards Berlin Bonobos in that case.
Fair enough.
Yeah, go Germany, I guess. Let's not mention the fact that they lost to Canada, who have no OWCS players, but
and Sweden, of course, 3-0 Japan.
Yeah, that was a sick match as well.
It was very fun to watch. Kevster Overwatch is all I can say.
Absolutely. Coming back to this match.
Looking ahead, we're waiting for a player to get ready. What do you think of the band so far? Sim and Zarya.
Sim is really good on this map. Lijiang Tower, one of the better maps for Sim. So if if who banned it? Was it Berlin?
Berlin Bonobos banned it.
Yeah, if Berlin looked forward to their match and saw that Shinzoku played Sim, it just makes sense to ban it on her strongest map.
I mean, my mind immediately goes to that teleporter on Night Market where you just get straight up to the point and drop down for an immediate kind of first hold and take. It is a very powerful map that enables a lot of the TPs, both on like the more outside angles on gardens, and I mean also a bit of taking coast control, for example, on control center. So I mean a lot of different opportunities. On the
Control
other hand, the
center in
Zarya
general, yeah.
ban, the Zarya ban seems to be
Sorry.
something I think that's more scouted from the side of EC Shinzoku, that they know historically Berlin Bonobos put in their casting sheet, for example, they are Vendetta Zarya abusers, and indeed in their match against Jitty Party, of which I sat on the bench for, they were playing the Zarya again, so it's clearly a comfort pick for them, and this is kind of forcing them onto, I would guess, the Ramatra look.
Yeah, Ramatra is really strong so far, or has been in the current meta. But yeah, Diva is also something that could come out, although she has been way stronger in the higher tiers of play than she is, you know, in your average rank lobby. But something we can see, especially specifically since Zarya is out. But yeah, we're just waiting for one player, and I won't mention them because I don't know who they are. But
No flame, but
ooh,
I'm getting the call here that the
Get in
map
the
is
lobby.
loading any second, so let's get right into it.
yeah.
That went about as well as I'd expect. And we still don't have the map. Now we have the map. Okay. Try to take off the sunglasses and it messed up my hair. Stuff happens to the best of us. But we're gonna be getting a bit of an insight. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get a bit of insight into the hero comps as we're going into this map. I'm interested to see kind of if this is a case where Shinzoku maybe have a read of what they're gonna play, but no, they're running the Mauga.
Oh yeah. Okay, Mauga makes sense as well. Has been pretty strong so far, but obviously outshadowed by stuff like Ramatra and Zarya and Diva. But it has a place in the meta, and we see Issei Shinzoku pick it up straight off the bat here.
And the Juno will be permanent, it seems, rather than just for speed boost for the side of Shinzoku, as they want to play that kind of slower comp. The first act as well means that they're going to be going for that kind of scary Mauga Slam combo, where they just do so much damage, and immediately you see Shadow running all the way in, but both cooldowns forced early, so a bit of a risky situation. Obito, in the meantime, takes down Mostak Snack. So that's kind of that angle duel one, but Shadow critically gets booped by Oblo, and Obito gets found up by Mikey. So all of a sudden, for the side of Berlin Bonobos, it all kind of crumbles. Berlin Bonobos have completely turned this, and A's finishes it off with a nice little 3k.
Yeah, I mean, Ramatra on this map specifically is just so good. There's not a lot of space where the enemy can move around, and you can just vertex them in a really nice choke there, which just lets you pummel a lot of damage into them. But
and it's an aggressive TP in from Obito, but nice immediately Mostak prepared for it. The flashbang comes out, and the Mauga is now pretty deep in as well. Forced to use a lot of resources to try to keep him up. Shadow is rotated down to the bottom side. Nothing really going on as this fight kind of stalls out. Issei Shinzoku electing to play this one a bit slower, but in the meantime, that percentage just ticking up for the Bonobos, and they're going in with the Vortex here. The Sojourn just trying to look for anything. Pablo can't quite find it. My view is going very pixelated, but so far no kills found. Still a 5v5 until Obito once again steps into the crosshairs of Mostak Snack. He has Obito's number so far in this game, and A's converts onto Pablo and Plateau. A double kill for him. Mostak to clean it out, and A's with a third again. Just getting so much value.
Obito getting picked off 2 fights in a row is a bit of a problem. 55% of the charge on that Reaper ult is not ideal when you're looking at the last fight here. Berlin Bonobos with 4 ultimates, yeah, in the bank. Issei Shinzoku will need this Kitsune Rush to do something incredible here.
They've caught in with the blade early. Pablo is dead. Mostak traded. So that's the hit scan duel 1, and Powie falls as well. Perhaps an opening here for the Bonobos, but Obito takes down, Oblo takes down Plateau, and Ace takes down Delta, meaning it's just Shadow and Obito to try to do it all. 3 on the other side. Shadow has to get a good slam, and he does. Mikey falls low, but not quite dead yet. Obito has to try to break. No HP remaining. It's still so low, but the Kiriko is returned. The cage invests.
Okay, yeah, the beat is invested but is it too late? As everybody on Ishii Shinzoku is coming back to the fight here. The overclock is popped, but it's not enough. The overclock gets shut down, and so does the rest of the Ishii Shinzoku squad. But it did feel like Pablo was gonna...
It is clean from Berlin Bonobos.
Needed to use that ultimate a bit earlier, but it didn't end up mattering as they secured themselves the first point.
Absolutely. And as for adjustments, we're seeing Mostak just kind of sticking to what worked in that previous fight, going from Cassidy to the Sojourn. Perhaps a bit more focused on the rails and the burst damage there.
Yeah, I mean, Sojourn is really good against Ramatra and against like any type of tank that just sits there with all their most valuable like body parts
Cooldowns?
exposed. No, like I mean, like you're if people basically without shields, thinking like Morga, thinking like
yeah, okay, face tankers. Yeah.
yeah, like these face tankers. I mean, you can just charge rails so easily.
Oh, and look at the
this
slam. Ace takes down Plateau already. The Morga is half. But Mostak is dead. That's going to be a bit of trouble now for the side of the Bonobos. You've lost kind of the first pick, and Plateau is going to be back way faster than your Sojourn. So A is just trying to survive, sustain on point, and prevent the touch. But Oblo in the meantime takes down Pablo. So suddenly, number advantage shifting back into the Bonobos' hands. But everything stalls out, but Bonobos get the cap, and the Mauga is the one who's actually forced to back up. A's has done a brilliant job surviving that.
Yeah, but Shadow AI already 60% of the way to the first cage here. Very fast charging.
It is charging dangerously quickly and going in now. A's taken down, overrun in fact, as Flip seems to be going over into Shinzoku's hands. They haven't even cleared the coast side yet. The Lucio just making a mad dash for it.
Yeah, Shadow AI is gonna have the first ultimate here on the board in just a second, but I mean, so far Bonobos 22% on the board. They're sitting pretty at the moment, but yeah, they're gonna need something here to maybe come back into this next fight against the cage of EC Shinzoku here.
Maybe Mostak's rail doesn't quite find purchase. And the shield goes up, trying to grasp at the cage. As you mentioned, that quick charge already up. Shadow AI though doesn't quite expect Mostak Snack to be that efficient at burning him down. So Plateau is soon to fall, Delta falls after that.
Yeah, a great play from Berlin Bonobos to shut down the Morga, who went a bit aggressive. I mean, you expect to live in those situations, but not against an OC and just the shred of the rest of the Berlin Bonobos.
And it's an early Kitsune, it seems like, from the side of Bonobos. Ace takes down Shadow though. So they're being pushed just straight up into their spawn. Not much that can be done, and Pablo falls to Mostak Snack. They have to just kite this out. Wait for Bonobos to realize that, hey, we don't have the cooldowns anymore, and kite back. It's a strong hold from Bonobos, and they still are coming up on losing that ult advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they used the Kitsune Rush, and Ishii Shinzoku just dodged that perfectly. Now they have one of their own, but the beat is there to counter on the other side.
Beat from both sides, in fact, all ultimates being used. Pablo, the only one left with the overclock. The first one taken down, in fact, from the blade. Obito doesn't quite find purchase with the Death Blossom. The slam, it's not good enough either. Mikey, he's dashed on Obito. He has no Wraith form left. There's going to be a bit of trouble there, but falls too low. The Mauga's in pretty much on his own, trying to survive, trying to sustain, but Shadow is going to be the first one to fall in this situation. This fight is all Berlin Bonobos as we're going into potential final fight territory. Mostak Snack has popped the overclock, forcing them out of the point in the last possible hour. It's a blink and you miss it map, but the Bonobos, they seem to have all but shut it down. Plateau may be the only one who can get the touch. Shadow looking for a potential slam, but there's not going to be any time.
Yeah, Ishii Shinzoku don't look comfortable in this match at all. Maybe the Simban was the thing that Berlin Bonobos needed in this first map, but maybe they just aren't comfortable going into this Ramatra style from Berlin Bonobos, which looked incredible. And I mean, the rest of the team was there as well, and it looked absolutely lights out for Berlin Bonobos on this first map.
Absolutely. Let's see what our desk has to say about this game so far. What do you guys think?
All right, what an interesting game there for sure. The Symmetra ban, as the casters were saying, might have just been a bit of a nudge over the edge for EC Shinzoku. But
mean-
yeah, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I was writing notes down as the game was going on, and I did like the Rambrel. The Rambrel kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of felt nostalgic, in a good way. You kind of saw it after after Arisa meta brushed over. But I mean, I saw what Shinzoku was trying to do there with the Morga, Reaper, Sojin, Kiri, Juno, but it just wasn't working for them. Like they're playing a face tank into a comp that thrives in getting pressure, and that pressure is what I believe led Bonobos to be able to take as much of the map as they did. There were only a few times in the match where Shinzoku had took point control. And we see from the stats, RZ doing 10,000 damage.
Yeah, very strong performance from the tank and hit scan from Berlin Bonobos, with Mostak getting 18 kills as well. But a lot of them were high value kills as well. You saw the cast to start with, getting a lot of that early pressure, a lot of the early value. And then the Sojourn swap into the Mauga, also a very valuable swap as well for a lot of that. Being able to just always have your rail available for their engages definitely helped a lot. But clearly, Berlin Bonobos are just allowed to let their tank just run and have as much fun as they want on Shinzoku's backline right now. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to adapt to this. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a case of if Shinzoku might not have something to combat Bonobos is very fast Rambrel that they have going on here. So they might need to pull something out the bag that they maybe haven't played in a while. So it may be a case that they're less comfortable on the comp that they're forced onto because of this Ram, or they're not able to play their comfort picks. But one thing that I did pick up that I did, I'm just gonna put a note on, thumbtack, I guess. Shinzoku they were in spawn. They were running Lucio Juno, and then they'd have the Juno ring. Then they'd swap to the Lucio, so they still had amp for the fight. I think that's it's not something that you commonly see, but I think it was something that almost like a makeshift sim TP.
Yeah.
But it was that was, I think that was really interesting to see, where teams see the band. It's like, oh, we gotta do something. Let's theory craft. And it's like, guys, I've got an idea. And then let's Juno ring out of spawn. But yeah, I mean, it's very, very intuitive. I'll use that word. It's very intuitive to see teams having that restriction. And I mean, there's a phrase that goes around where creativity thrives on limitation. I think this is a prime example of it.
Yeah, and it's very interesting as well, because you're seeing a lot of that intuition or intuitiveness, I suppose, of the kind of both adaptation as well from Berlin Bonobos, but also a lot of patience. I was seeing a lot of patience with their engages. Their tank especially looking very comfortable to just wait and just chill, and just take a second. And a lot of that patience might have just been enough to stop Shinzoku from ever really being allowed to go anywhere. Every time they tried to do anything, it looked like Berlin Bonobos were always ready for it. They were always there, and they always especially had the key cooldowns that they needed to almost fight back in those engages. And on the Mauga comp and the Ramatra, we have the Cardiac on the one side, and you've got the Ramatra form in the other. both very similar in sense of strong, powerful, cool-based engages. So maybe Berlin Bonobos looking a bit more comfortable on those turn-based teams. So definitely going to be interesting to see how Flashpoint turns out if they end up going there. I'm looking here as well. Shinzoku looking a lot more comfortable on maybe Route 66 or Midtown. I think Midtown might be difficult for them because it seems like the Berlin Bonobos were a lot more comfortable, as you're saying, with the turn-based comps. So how do you feel possibly about the maps that they have to choose from?
I mean, we could even see Circuit. You know, Sig's very, very strong in Circuit, especially like second point. Not second, sorry, first point. But you know, maybe they want to play something a little bit faster. And it looks like we're in Surabasa.
Okay,
I mean,
interesting.
This could shoot them in the foot here, especially with Shinzoku having that hazard. With Shadow AI's most played hero being the hazard, this could most definitely shoot them in the foot. But if you know, it could be a repeat of last game. You know, Rambrawl can be played on this map. Probably not as much as a Zarya event, like a Zarya. But I lost my train of thought. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, Zarya and Vendetta was once pretty strong, and if they're banning if Zarya has been banned, so there is a chance that we do see a Zarya Vendetta or something akin to that, like the evolution of a Zarya Detta. But you know, like I could see maybe Cat Bastion. Take call that a hot take, and very interesting bands that we're seeing.
Mauga Cass. Definitely most interesting because it seems like the Cass ban was first from Shinzoku. You'd kind of want them to be going on the Cass if you're going to play Mauga. So maybe they were expecting a Mauga ban hit. Maybe they were trying to ban the Cassidy to get the biggest pressure off of them. How do you feel about these bans?
Shinzoku had the map pick, and I believe the first ban. So I think they Shinzoku maybe was trying to target Bonobos' hit scan. And then Bonobos has just responded with "nah" and banned the Morga straight off the bat. Which leads me to believe it's forced them into a hazard comp, like a hazard brawl. Which again, I've said that it is pretty strong in this map. Like maybe the strongest that we'll ever see hazard on a map. But we'll see. I guess we'll see how the game goes.
Yeah. Hopefully looking for a hazard comp, but whatever it is, good luck to our casters. Take it away.
Thank you, Bez and Ember. Lovely analytics here, but yeah, we're seeing a Surabasa, which should favor the manga composition, kind of, but the manga is banned here, so...
Oh, and if you look at the tab list, Mezi in for EC Shinzoku, best known for playing tank on EC Eclipse, where in fact the signature hero was once again the Wrecking Ball. So a complete change of pace here for Shinzoku. They
any comments?
They kind of ran that Mao. Oh,
no comments.
I have a few comments.
Yeah, we see. Okay, I mean, I was expecting the Vendetta to come out here, but I mean, EC Shinzoku opted out of it instead, going for this ball composition and a Tracer. On the other side, we finally see a Diva, yeah, and a Diva counter as well in the Mizuki. I mean, we'll see how
this looks like a completely different game, to be honest, compared to the first map. But immediately it's that engage, just trying to force the pick onto that ball. And Obito, once again, Mostak showing that whether it's this map or the last, he has Mostak has his number. But Mikey takes down Verlight, who does manage to trade out Oblo before he goes. The ball slamming in, looking to find Mikey here, but just barely lives on 21 HP. Plateau manages to snipe him out of the sky, but it does look like the fight has kind of fizzled out for them. No, they're going to try to go for the recontest now with the ball tracer. Sir, the lack of space kind of killing them here, but Powie gets taken down. Verlight is doing numbers on the Genji right now.
Yeah, Mezzy, look at that. 77% to the first ultimate here with this mines. I mean, doing a lot of work on this bow. Getting a little bit pressured out. It won't end up mattering in the end, as the rest of Berlin bows are still regrouping here. But yeah. Oh, Obito gets taken out early.
That's a critical early pick, and that's going to be the go sign now for Berlin Bonobos to re-engage. Ball's being chained. Keep it careful, guys, but Mikey in the meantime has died on the way in. Verlight still doing numbers on the Genji, but Plateau is taken down by Mostak. It's the battle of the DPSs right now, as no tank's able to really find anything so far. The TP invested, but point still firmly in the hands of EC Shinzoku. They're gaining up on a point where if they end this fight with a point cap, it's going to be final fight for Bonobos all of a sudden. Verlight just dashing in, takes a motorcycle to the face. The ultimate invested, Mostak takes him down. Oh, Mostak just absolutely rampaging through the backlines right now in the chain. Once again lands on the ball. Mezzy manages to take down Oblo on the way out though, so it's still trying to keep the fight competitive, but it has switched back into Bonobos' hands. But look at this, 90% for Shinzoku as the fight goes out.
I mean, EC Shinzoku are looking like a completely different team with Mezzy in the roster here. A little bit of a skirmish here happening on the left side of the map still, but it's gonna fizzle out as EC Shinzoku are gonna try to regroup, but the beat is there from
Beat is there, and
Plateau.
so is the blade. Verlight goes in with that one, doesn't quite find anything yet. Finally finds Mikey as the first catch. Delta has to try to live through Diva. Eva uses both cooldowns to do so. Bit worrying for EC, but they managed to hold on to the point. Touch needs to be kept in mind. I'll say the only one friendly to touch him, but Taui dead. That is going to be the end of the fight. EC Shinzoku, completely different team, have taken the first point.
Yeah, they're looking really good. I mean, another thing that's switched up as well is they don't have a hit scan at the moment. They're playing the Tracer Genji composition. The double flex DPS here is working out like wonders for them. I mean,
and to try to shut this down.
Okay, that's very interesting. I mean, what is that for? I mean, just knifing the ball, maybe trying to disrupt him, but I don't think that's really a great answer to what Shinzoku have. They have the Kiriko Lucio still, the complete counter to what Queen can provide here.
I mean, I can
and this
say
is
from
a
experience,
great
I'd
engaged
say
ball.
loves running the jungle queen on Surabasa, but Mostak is taking down Verlight to start off. Maybe you don't need a queen, maybe all you need is Mostak going wild, and Oblo follows it up on Delta. A third kill from Mikey onto Obito as well. This fight is just over before it can even begin.
Ooh, yeah, quick engage from Berlin. Bonobos here, only using the blade and the Kitsune rush, and on the other side, Ishii Shinzoku basically used everything they have. They only have the beat available for the next fight, and Berlin Bonobos are sitting pretty on point here.
Mostak has the ultimate available as well, perhaps looking to shut this down, and indeed it's used, but Plateau takes him down early. Excellent play there.
Yeah, getting a little bit too zesty here.
But the knife has done them right into the chain. Verlight needs that beat to stay alive. Plateau invests it. Oblo taken down, but Mezzy traded out. No tank for no main support is the trade I'd happily take. In the meantime, Plateau and Delta, Mezzy both fall. Everyone just falling for Ishii Shinzoku. And I'd say, showing shades of that map 1 gameplay, as this point is at 82%, might be impossible for the touch.
I zoned out for 2 seconds and EC Shinzoku lost the fight. I mean, I was gonna talk about how the Shion dying so early was so detrimental to the fight, but
not just the fight, but the
not.
point as well.
But no, it didn't end up mattering because they got first picked and then they came back into the fight somehow. I mean, it probably goes back to the fact that Ishii Shinzoku didn't have any ultimates go into this fight. They wasted everything on the previous one, and they ended up paying for it as Berlin Bonobos secure themselves the second point.
Going for the Tracer pick. Doesn't quite find much yet. Oblo could be looking to chain that. The ultimate is good as well on Mezzy's roll-in. Mostak Snack now looking for picks. We've known him to be deadly thus far in the series, but Med takes down Powie, in fact, to open up the fight. She just steps into the mines, and it's an impossible situation. Plateau falls, and Obito falls. Atse trying his best to close this out, but Mostak dead on the other side. Verlight is off the map, it seems. Everything kind of going a bit topsy-turvy, but Oblo now dead. Might be the advantage in the hands of Shinzoku finally, but Atse still standing, still fighting. Getting the ball hooked in and hooked straight into the axe, but half HP is not going to do much when you have the tier side. Slam comes in. Atse just trying to stay alive through all of this. Mostak taken down by Obito again. Obito now on the Reaper, but it's a late Kitsune here. Atse looking to deny, mirrored on both sides. Powie taken down, but Delta soon to follow. It's a chaotic fight in every which way, but eventually Mikey uses the blade and Atse with the axe closes out this fight. But it's a hard-fought one.
Yeah, both teams gripping their teeth into this fight, trying to stay alive, but Berlin Bonobos able to come out on top just so barely, but they had to use so much to be in that one at the end, but it doesn't end up mattering as Mezzi falls down here with 20% to go. Can they even touch without their main tank?
Shut down so early by Bonobos. Obito looking for a touch on the Reaper, but that might just be all she wrote. Mezzi's back again, but knifed into the axe. It has to be played carefully. Verlight taken down by Mikey as well. Losing that flex DPS early is a critical failure for this team. And Plateau being dead as well might just be the end of this point. 2-0 up, it seems, for Berlin Bonobos, as they're just going to try to hold on. But A's is dead, and presumably the rest soon to follow. Mezzi's rolled through. They need a miracle, and they might have just found one, actually. Obito taken down by Oblo. Mostak, though, Blade forced to use Blade to be used to close it out. But it is a heavy investment from EC Shinzoku to try to survive this. Nothing much really going on here. The overtime finally flipped over to the side of EC.
Yeah, Berlin Bonobos give that fight away, but they're all alive. They're all standing here to recontest this. And, I mean, give it a few seconds and they're going to have 3 ultimates here with
including that Junker Queen ultimate. That's going to be so critical.
The Mizuki Sanctuary. So Ichi Shinzoku, if they don't get something right now, they're gonna be in for a world of hurt.
Absolutely. And you see Mezzi just trying to do that spin around the pillar. The Mizuki ult is actually going to be early. They're saving the Queen ult, waiting out that beat. They've played this so well. And the question is, when that Rampage comes through, what happens then? And there it goes. It's caught absolutely everyone pretty much. And it's 3 red players down. Mobito, Plateau, Delta, and Verlight all falling. Powie, the only casualty on the side of the Bonobos. And that's going to be the second point cleaned out. Map point now for Berlin Bonobos. And if you're EC, you haven't changed your comp up at all. You're going to start getting worried.
Yeah, I mean, a silver lining for that fight is that Berlin Bonobos basically used everything they had and more to secure that fight. Now EC Shinzoku will have the upper hand going into this fight. The mines, especially on this tiny little point, are going to cover so much ground here to deny from the
they actually might have to look out for Obito. The mines have come through. Doesn't quite find a pick yet. The Mizuki jumping off the map as a kind of pump fake, but taken down by Mezzi regardless. Verlight dead to Mikey again. He's having a rough series right now. And it's going to be the first cap actually to EC Shinzoku just off of that pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking over to the street.
Mezzi is off.
Mezzi, oh, that's not good.
That is just unfortunate. And the Bonobos, they are ruthless in capitalizing on that pick immediately to follow with 3 more. It's just Verlight left. Manages to get the blade, but not much more than that. A pick on the Powie and gets set packing immediately after.
Yeah, that might be a map losing mistake. Messi switching over to the Orisa here to, I don't know, just be a little bit more stable in the front line.
Queen in that HP brawl trade, perhaps.
Yeah, but you do have a big ultimate advantage here going in if you're EC Shinzoku, and I mean you're gonna have to leverage it if you wanna come back to this map. Only
as they say, don't spend it all in one place. Obito going first for that ultimate. The Queen falls low, taken down. In fact, Mostak used the spree, taken down, but it's gonna cost 2 picks. Powie and Oblo each find 1. No main support or flex DPS available for the side of Shinzoku as they're trying to go through Giver with no tank. Bonobos just kind of have to back up. Obito
What?
taken down by Oblo just out of nowhere. Oblo's uncontested on this top side of the map with only 2 people left for the side of Shinzoku. They might have to give up the point all of a sudden.
Yeah, what a off angle from Oblo, just finding a pick out of nowhere in a 3v3. That's what really.
And it's Verlight's
difference maker
blade
in this fight.
that's not going to be crucial. And they've spent it all. All Ishii Shinzoku, they are going all in. 1 pick, 2 pick for Verlight. But Mikey trades it out with 2 of his own. Oh, a third for Mostak. Leading the advantage falls into the hands of the Bonobos, and they close it out. 97%. All Shinzoku need for this point is 1 fight to push it to a 5th.
Yeah, the hero play from the Mizuki there is what secures Berlin Bonobos this point, and I mean 20% or 30% about left for Ishii Shinzoku to touch. They don't have the fastest team composition, but I think they're gonna be able to. Mezi is gonna have to be huge with the Ursa, though, if they want to secure the extra innings on this map.
And that beat as well, so crucial for them surviving. Plateau drops it, all 5 receives it. Anti-nade comes through from the Queen ultimate, but they've managed to stay through. Plateau barely taken down by Mostak at the end. The Pharah now for Obito, and they've secured the point. Actually, I just completely missed that. EC take the point, managed to kind of zone Berlin Bonobos off, and they just didn't have an answer for it. Obito, in the meantime, has found 5, just cleaning up that fight. If you're Berlin Bonobos, you gotta be hitting yourself.
That is a lifeline that I mean Berlin Bonobos just gave to the enemy team. Ishii Shinzoku, I mean, they did win a prolonged fight, but I feel like it wasn't so clear in that fight before that C9. Now they're gonna go back. It's still a really good ball point here, but the prio is gonna be towards Berlin Bonobos here.
I mean, I'm looking towards Paui. Her Kitsune Rush is going to be the kind of game changer here. The question is, do they manage to keep that ult economy up, or do they just decide to invest everything, as we've seen in previous points? Capture coming through for Berlin Bonobos early on, but no picks found just yet. And as I say that, Verlight taken down by Oblo. A critical chain, it seems, finds that pick, and Plateau soon to follow Mikey's Genji, slicing and dicing through the opposition. And Mezi all alone on the ball is going to be last to fall, it seems.
Yeah, huge carry performance there from the Zarya, living on such low HP, getting so much attention away from the rest of the team, which were able to just pummel the damage into the Ishii Shinzoku squad. And now their backs are against the wall. They need to win this next fight.
Delta's used his lane, traded by Paui. It's an even 1-for-1, but Mostak's next spree hasn't found anything yet. Finds Obito finally with a left click. The mine's out on point as well, making that so difficult to navigate. And in the meantime, Verlight has found Paui. Trades are out though. Delta, no Kitsune, no Kirkos rather for the either side. Ace just trying to stay alive. Right, no flip coming through for Shinzoku just yet, and that point progress is getting dangerously close. Lucio and the Lucio traded for the Genji, but advantage still, I'd say, in the hands of Bonobos right now, as they're able to practically burn down. But no, Obito uses the barrage, takes down Atsi. But 2 picks found, no DPS all of a sudden for the side of Shinzoku. Mezi left to pick up the pieces, but the capture on the point has come through. Now with, it seems, Plateau's Lucio coming back, it's going to be a blade on point. A second blade this fight, I might add. Mikey slices through it all, and Berlin Bonobos at 98%. There's going to be no ability to touch, except for maybe the Genji at the very end, but that's going to fizzle out very quickly. The grab used as well to deny. A long fight for that final point, and as you see them staggering onto point, no real win conditions to play for, except for maybe, just maybe, that beat from Plateau. The mines are out, but doesn't make much of a difference. Delta's down, Mezi is down, and overtime is down. Berlin Bonobos 2-0 up, but they've really weathered a storm this map compared to map 1.
Yeah, Ishii Shinzoku looked so much better on this map than they did before. However, the scoreline isn't really reflecting that, as they are up, their back is up against the wall, and now they need a miracle reverse sweep here to come back. But we'll see if they do that after this break, or
believe short, minor bit of a miscommunication there. We'll quickly get with the map analysis here with my co-host Ember, and then we'll pass to the break shortly after. But we quickly saw there at the last point, especially why the Zarya ban even came out in the first place. That was very much a flip of the switch almost, where it looked like Shinzoku were going to make the comeback, but then the Zarya switch came out, and almost like that, it was back to the other way of Bonobos.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a massive change of pace from Shinzoku here. We saw, first of all, at the beginning, we saw the substitutions of Shadow and Pablo for Mezzi and Verlight. And coming out, we saw, Bonobos were coming out with Diva, Shion, Genji, Mizuki, Kiriko. And Shinzoku were coming out with a Hamter dive with Genji and Tracer. Those kinds of dives are not that common now, especially in a meta where Diva thrives. But Mezzi's ball is not to be played with, and I think Bonobos got that. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that happened. There was almost like this back and forth seesaw that was going on, especially with Mezzi, how sporadic Mezzi was being on the ball. We did see a lot of swaps that we saw Abito going to Reaper. I'm assuming for more controlled fire, especially with the gameplay that we saw last map with the trying to the tracer shots through back and forth to Sanctuary, almost like to I forgot what it's called, but when you put down Winston Bubble and you go back and forth between it. Then we saw on fourth point, it looked like Shinzoku was gonna kick the bucket there. So we did see, I believe there were panic swaps. We saw Mezzi go to the Orisa for more of a standstill play, less of the sporadicness that you'll see from you don't really see Orisa played for the almost caffeine induced gameplay play style that Ball has. And then you see Abito going to the Pharah, not really a common pick, but it's that's why I'm assuming it's a panic swap for that AoE explosion. And then on last point we see Aize swap to the Zarya, and that was what they needed to get the point. That's what Bonobos needed to take the game.
Yeah, and as we're seeing as well, yet again, some high threats to be reckoned with from Berlin Bonobos there. But we'll have to see more of that after our short little break. We'll definitely be looking forward to this, though. Alright, and welcome back. Like we never left, we're right back here looking for one more map. Berlin Bonobos, who are up right now, looking to close out the series here. Shinzoku, looking to try and get that reverse sweep going in. Who do you feel is more favored for this? Do you feel like a reverse sweep's ready? Because I'm ready for a reverse sweep.
We have seen we haven't seen a reverse sweep on stream, but we have seen it in the series, in the Crown Cup series. We saw the reverse sweep yesterday from GD Party against APL Luna. So it is possibly in the bag for Shinzoku. They could pull something out like that. I really liked Mezzi's ball. I just gotta say, I really like that hamster comp. Not many teams are prepared to play against such a heavy dive comp as that. So I think they have that up their sleeve. But we do now risk Bonobos banning that hamster.
Yeah, of course.
So if that's the case, then I feel a little less confident with Shinzoku managing to get this third game. And with the game modes that we have left, we have hybrid, escort, and push. So they're very mixed with what kind of comps you can run. So we could see the Malga on like a Neon Junction from Shinzoku. That Malga, from what I've seen anyway, is a pretty strong pick, especially on attack. We could see a Diva on watch point. We could see we could see anything. So even with us being 2 game modes down, we've still got a lot of experimentation that the teams can play around with. But Bonobos are going to feel very confident going into this next game. But if they're thrown to a game like like a map that's not really that commonly played at all, let's say Hollywood, I'm not sure what they'll do.
Yeah, definitely maps like that can just go either which way. I've seen people really comfortable on maps like Hollywood, really comfortable on maps like Circuit Royale. But all it does just take is one really good day from one specific player to completely swap what you've been expecting from comps, especially with maps like Circuit Royale, where you get very hit scan favored maps, where if you're on a good day, you can just win the whole map. You don't need the whole team to be as prepared for that, because what are you going to do when a hit scan just 2 taps your entire backline, right? So definitely something for Shinzoku to be a bit wary about, maybe. But as you're saying with the Mauga on Neon Junction, very comfortable. Kings Row as well. Mauga is very comfortable on those maps, so we might be seeing a pick like that. We could also be seeing maybe Shinzoku, once they have the choice available, going to push playing the ball, and maybe protect banning the ball. So banning someone like Zarya, for example, which, as we're seeing, Bonobo is very comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can theorize, but there's only so much that we can predict from just 2 games. They could even pull something out of the bag, like a running Malga on Esperanza or Runa Sapi. Like I vaguely remember, not this season, but last season, one of the OWCS teams ran Malga Juno Break on Runasapi, and that seemed to be working very well for them. So, there's a lot of things that we can pick out, but there's only so much that there's what 50, 51, 52 heroes in Overwatch. There's a lot of Overwatch heroes. So wow, okay,
Kings
we're going
Row.
to Kings Row.
There we are. Now,
Okay.
thing to note, bit of an old composition, but Bull has been played before on Kings Row. I don't know if maybe Shinzoku are just looking to absolutely throw something to the wind right now, and maybe playing the Bull comp, but with a hit scan this time, because we did see as well Comfort on the Orisa swap over as well. So to be honest, kind of just anything's possible. And Farah Kiriko, maybe Juno Brig.
Yeah,
Juno Brig, Ana Brig.
Juno Brig is not out of the question. I mean, maybe we could see something like a Juno Miski, especially with Lucio's whole thing of like being AoE speed and AoE speed and AoE healing. You dissect that. There's Juno's speed ring. There's Mizuki's AoE healing. You know, we could see. I mean, we could see some like really old comps. We could see Lucio Bap. You know, Lucio Bap was a really big thing on King's Defend. We could see like anything. Cat Ana is even on the theory board. That is non-existent. But
One
yeah,
thing to note as well, whilst we're talking about these picks, is they have swapped Verly out for Pablo in, so we're back to the hit scans again. So swapping back away from that double flex. So maybe you're right. Maybe Bap Lucio is definitely an option on the table. In saying that though, I believe both teams are ready. I believe our casters are ready. Sending it over. Best of luck.
Thank you, guys.
We're absolutely ready.
You look shady again.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've put in the chats.
Well, I have to match our desk, I feel like. At this point in the series.
I would, but I actually have to concentrate so much when I'm wearing these. Like, it's not that comfortable.
It's
guys,
more there for the effect overall.
Glasses.
I mean, I have to get used to it. I'm getting actual glasses tomorrow, in fact.
Oh, damn.
I've been doing all of these casts without being able to see, it turns out.
I mean, same, but for different reasons. And yeah. Yeah, what do you think of EC Shinzoku going back to the hit scan instead of the flex DPS instead of a double flex DPS?
Pablo is supposed to be the main player, so it makes sense that Verlight would be kind of subbed in for that kind of map-specific thing. Interesting choice to stick with Mezzi. I mean, the ball look was something that clearly worked a lot better for them, and I think they're gonna have to go back to kind of the bread and butter maps, Scrim's Row, as they say, if they want to try to kind of reverse sweep. I think they're trying to force kind of their comfort right now and try to really play their game instead of trying to play into Berlin Bonobos, who really have been kind of messing them up first with the queen pick and like the way they were running the ram, for example, of Mostak, just going absolutely ham on the back line. And so we'll see how it goes.
Ooh. A Winston and Berlin Bonobos are hovering over Mercy. That is something really surprising to me.
Berlin Bonobos are on defense, by the way, so them hovering Mercy is extra worrying. But no, going to an Ana Prig with a Zarya, it seems. Still kind of an irregular comp. Something maybe you'd see in a dive composition normally, but run with a Zarya here.
Cat being covered over by EC Shinzoku. As I say that though, they switch over to the Wuyang a little bit more. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Cat, but also wouldn't be surprised to see this Wuyang.
Mezzi just so high-paced. Baits out the Maywall immediately, but manages to stay in that safe position behind the statue. Knows he can't really jump onto the brig. Does so anyways. Powie looking to try to place spoiler to this, as both Oblo and her are forced to drop, as early on Berlin Bonobos kind of being isolated to this hotel and back point space. That Bastion doing even more so. Pablo looking to send Oblo packing, in fact, as it's actually going to be Obito going in again. Mostak Snack has gotten the first pick on Obito 3 maps in a row at this point. Mezzi soon to fall after. Mostak Snack is cleaning things up on the cast. And Atse is going to do everything to follow through on those picks. Mostak with a 4th. Strong start from him.
Yeah, the hit scan prowess is there for Berlin Bonobos. Can Pablo really match that on the Bastion? I mean, not the most like typical pick you would see in a scrim environment here, unless you have a cat with you. But opting to play this hit scan is a little bit weird.
Obito Wraith Force early might become an issue in the future. Mikey still looking for that kind of main wall, still has it available. Hold on, Pablo has gone way too far in. Taken down early. It's a 4v4 though. according to the little meter up top. Mostak has used the Deadeye. Doesn't quite find anything, but Mezzi just annihilated. Oh my god, it's headshot after headshot for this guy. And I mean, that's just shuts down the push immediately. They're able to play aggressive, play for picks.
Yeah, what can EC Shinzoku do against this Cassidy? He's been hitting shots left, right, and center. And
Reinhardt, that's what they can do.
yeah, okay.
Messi coming back on the big guy.
Be a little bit helpful here against the hit scan here, but I mean, they're not staying together enough. I feel like they're. Look at how
Pablo once again vulnerable. A
is.
Big grab. They have to try to get Atse out of there, but Plateau taken out by Mostak. It's Mostak with 2 again. This is his map, and Atse follows up 2 of his own. Nano even used by Power. And Atse with
a little bit of stagger
third.
coming out here on Obito, and 1 minute 30 seconds remaining for Ishi Shinzoku to secure at least a tick here to
ults, but
make
still
them a little bit more comfortable here on this map. But so far it's been Berlin Bonobos all the way to the end here, as they're holding incredibly well so far here.
The Wuyang ult takes down Mostak early. That's your crucial carry kind of out of there. Atse, kind of the remaining force. The rally used by Oblo to try to keep the team alive. And they have forced EC back a bit. Obito gets stunned, forced to Wraith out. But the Blizzard is good. Doesn't quite get any freezes. The Reinhardt just barely managing to charge out of it. Pablo's in a dangerous position. Forced out, but the Ryan shield is critical there. And it's a late fight Ray. That might be the thing to turn it. Obito takes down Powie. So already... Bonobos once again forced off of the point, and this time it might be a bit more permanent as that Rhine wall. There's not much they can do to break through it right now, especially without your Ana, without your main, without your ults. Mostak is being caught absolutely in Narnia. In the meantime, I'd say coming up on that grab, but it is just going to be the cap for...
That was a great disengage from the Blizzard by EC Shinzoku. The speed ring was saved for that crucial ultimate, and it paid dividends as they won the fight off of that. Now, going to the next fight, Shatter available for Mezzi. Can this Zarya block it or not? I mean, already 1 bubble burned here. It's looking quite good for this Shatter.
I mean, you can maybe even look at Oblo's Brig to be the blocker here. The Maywall, Derby, Mezzi just being burned down. Obito's gone up top looking for Mostak. Mostak does just die. The Q invested from Obito, a bit overzealous, and in fact that allows Powie to get the pick. But Pablo takes down Atse in the meantime, so the fight does fizzle out, but still very costly from Shinzoku.
Yeah, I mean, whatever gets the cart rolling, right? I mean, maybe a little bit of a mistake there by Obito to press the ult button after securing the kill. But you know, the kill was there, and that's all that matters. And Shinzoku are now in a good position to secure this.
And Bonobos have even mirrored the Rhyme. They've realized that you kind of have to just go for the mirror in this situation. The Orbital Ray straight on the Reinhardt to help him try to win the mirror out early, but the Blizzards come through. Frozen onto the Juno, Delta, Mezzi, and everyone falls in the blink of an eye. Mikey with 4, Ace with a 3.
Okay, I mean, if you're EC Shinzoku, you're not that fussed about that fight. You force out the Blizzard, you force out the
Rally.
Brigitte ult, yeah, the rally, just for the cost of the Ray. Now you have 3 ultimates available to you.
Oh, it's an early Shatter.
And then
Shatter is low. Mostak looking for picks up top. Almost has the Deadeye available. He's looking at Obito, but can't quite find it. He's dropped down with the Deadeye himself and finds Delta. Pablo soon to fall after. So even though that fight looked good with a pick on the tank at the start, Mostak and Mikey have absolutely cleaned it up.
I mean, Mezzi hit the Shatter, but the sleep from Powie was there. She absolutely won them that fight. Berlin Bonobos is, I mean, in good position now here. They because Ishi Shinzoku still need to touch here, and after that they still need to win that fight.
He's still in your back lines. You kind of got to be mindful of that throughout the entire series here. Bonobos, they've just kind of tried to kite back, setting up their Cassidy on that angle. And Mostak is getting still so much done. Finds Delta as I say that. The Bastion ult comes through. Ace takes down Plateau with the ensuing Shatter. Takes down Mezzi as well. It's overtime. It's all over. Ishi Shinzoku, that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, and a win condition for Berlin Bonobos. That's how far they have to push the card to win out the series 3-0. But on the other side, Ishin Suzuku, they need this map to start this reverse sweep. And this has not looked like the best offense they would have wanted. Now they need a miracle, I would say, to really get this match started for them. And you know, the Reinhardt really did look pretty good, but they need something extra from the rest of the squad to help that Reinhardt along, to help him really secure the fights. I mean, we've seen really Reinhardt do really good, but then Berlin Bonobos was able to shut him down. I mean, yeah.
Once again, a complete change of pace for both teams. I'd say moving on to the Doomfist, I feel like that's a bit troll. But Ishii and Zoku have gone on to the Sigma, really trying to slow it down here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the Sigma on low ground here specifically. It could be really good if you play it on the high ground, but this, I mean, the biggest issue of Sigma, the biggest weakness, is that you can get walked upon. And
yeah, let's see Mostek POV.
On the Zarya is gonna be doing just that.
Oh, he's playing this very patiently, looking for any sort of pick he can get. Not quite finding anything. He's actually sticking to the Widow. He's going straight out the way. Pablo has walked straight into the Widow's crosshair. A crucial advantage given over to the Bonobos already. That's going to be a heartbreaker for Shinzoku. And the Zarya just plows straight through them in response. They have a couple supports waiting on the high ground, but it's all she wrote already. 3 minutes on the clock, and they've just about capped first point. It is getting desperate now for Ishii Shinzoku.
Yeah, I don't want to write them out just yet. There's still some game to be played here, but that was absolutely devastating. It looks like they're falling apart here at the seams. Pablo, you know, peeking the Widow, when there was info that, you know, she's sticking, she's to the hero, she's getting out of spawn, was a big mistake. But Mezzi was able to stabilize here.
That's that kind of Widow. Immediately countered out. Mezzi swapped over to the Doomfist from that Sigma. Says, screw playing slow. We have to meet them with fire with fire in a way. And Pablo takes down A's, doing just that. Body blocked out by Obito's block, and Plateau takes down Mikey as well. So all of a sudden, you've managed to stall out the first fight for the Bonobos, but they've still got 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that was a bit mean from Obito. The ice block, not letting the Zarya escape from the little room on the left side. And I mean, they needed that. They needed something like that to get them back into the match, and now they have it.
I mean, just nothing really going on so far. Messing with the Empowered Punch, looking to kind of disable that high ground area, but it's just generally slams down main, not finding anything. But the ice block forced out might provide an opening for Bonobos. This is good though from Shinzoku. They've used the ultimate, but Mostak gets a key pick. But they're just trying to buy as much time as possible. Mezzi doing the same with the Meteor Strike, just trying to play around the point, get as little progress as possible while burning the clock lower and lower. They've already wasted a minute so far. And this is that kind of crucial play, but the grab is crucial from Atse. Breaks straight through that, just ignoring Mezzi's every attempt. Mostak finds 3 in that fight.
That was 2 big ultimates to break that chokehold. And like you said, Ishii Shinzoku, they burned so much time in that choke. I mean, now you have to hold a card here, but you have gotten out 2 incredibly important ultimates from Berlin Bonobos, and I feel like you're feeling pretty good about your position here.
Absolutely, they have to play aggressive. It's almost to the point of final fight territory. In fact, I'd say it is at this point. Mostak Snack is being let out on the off angle again and finds Pablo. Mikey traded though, means there is still a way in for EC in this fight. The Blizzard doesn't quite find any kills just yet. Eventually managed to take down Oblo. Obito gonna be the one to finish that kill. As the Doomfist just trying to stay alive, trying to cause as much disruption as possible, but it is going to be the full kite from the side of Berlin Bonobos, and as you mentioned, Mezzi is dangerously low.
If he
But with
dies there,
Mostak
that's
back,
all over. If he dies there, it's all over for Shinzoku. The
absolutely,
Berlin
Mostak is
Bonobos
back,
squad
so the
would be
engage
able
coming through
to
immediately.
re-engage
It's
there.
quick hits from the side of the Bonobos. Plateau is dead. Nano forced, invested. But Mostak has been let loose on the off angle again. How many times have they mismarked this? And that might just be all she wrote. Mezzi trying his best to stay on, but Mostak Snack on the off angle, leading his team to victory. Berlin Bonobos take down Ishii Shinzoku 3-0 in the second to last week of the group stage.
Well, I guess it didn't really end up mattering that the Doomfist lived on 1 HP in the end, but that was pretty incredible that he did really live there. But at the end of the day, Berlin Bonobos take this 3-0, and they have this win in the bag. They are looking
showing you shades
good.
of quartz over here.
That's true, yeah.
And I mean that's gonna be our series. So as casters, I'd like to thank you so much, Zima, for doing an amazing job, and thank you all for watching as we pass it back onto our desk. What did you think of that series, everyone?
Thank you very much. That was absolutely amazing performance, especially from Berlin Bonobos. Honestly, exciting series. This the last map, especially to that series. Most stacks looking incredibly lethal there. Generally all around strong performance from Berlin Bonobos throughout that entire series.
Yeah, I mean, I think Game 2 and Game 3, they both have their different different strengths and weaknesses as to which game was your favorite. I preferred the Surabasa, the very back and forth that Mezzi was invoking with that ball, and it was very strange seeing how Mezzi it didn't play ball at all there. I mean, maybe he wanted to play a little bit slower with I say slower, played slower than ball. Especially with that first fight in round 1 with the Winston, and then being forced onto a Rhine. That, I mean, they managed to push all the way to second point. But it was a very good defense from Bonobos. I can't deny that. It was very strange seeing the dive backlines on such a broady map, but it worked. But yeah, I mean, looking at the stats, I don't want to say it's like night and day, but you do see that Bonobos have that edge over Shinzoku.
Mhm.
Especially when you're looking at eliminations, you're looking at I'm mainly looking at Iaze's damage here with nearly 1,400 damage. 14,000 damage versus Mezzi's 10,000. And I mean, the ults as well. You've got nearly everyone on Bonobos using four ults there. If not 4, then it's 3. And then Shinzoku, they're very back and forth. You saw that Pablo and Plateau weren't really getting the value that they should have. But maybe that's due to how often they were being picked up, especially with Pablo's 10 deaths in that game.
Yeah, of course, and definitely an interesting thing to note as well was the fact that last season, I believe, it was Bonobos who were 10th place and Shinzoku who were 2nd. So right now, Berlin Bonobos absolutely punching up from last season, absolutely looking in great shape, and absolutely looking to storm through this current bracket group stage.
And it does look like we're going to be getting an interview from Iaze. So we'll be getting we'll be able to interview Iaze, the tank for Berlin Bonobos.
Yeah, of course. Looking forward to that. Some very confident gameplay as well. So hopefully we can get some answers on how the team's feeling, especially.
Yeah.
I believe we're just waiting 2 seconds, but in the meantime, definitely good. Interesting to note, as you said, about the on a break comp on Kings Row. Definitely a unique way to play it when you're playing the Zarya comp, but clearly it worked for Bonobos, right? It wasn't really working for Shinzoku though.
I don't think it was the support line that led Shinzoku to have that. I don't want to say downfall, but it didn't seem like they left much resistance, especially the moment when Pablo was taken in round 2. I think maybe something on a more brawly standard. I like the Lucio app that I had mentioned before the game might have been something more comfortable for them, especially when you're playing such a standstill tank such as Sigma, and like not just Sigma, but May's not really known for her movement, and Cassidy. May and Cassidy tend to be played in a more of a brawl comp together. I'm looking at like 2021 London Spitfire. Like you'd see the Ryan May Cass Lucio Kiri on Oasis or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like there was a glimpses of a comeback, of a reverse sweep going into game 2, but I think Shinzoku kind of lost a little bit of their confidence when they kind of had that seesawiness of Suravasa and then not able to take it. I think I think a little bit of their confidence fell. Maybe Mezzi wasn't that confident on the ball going into King's Row. But yeah, I mean, one thing led to another, and Bonobos take the set.
Yeah, of course. And with a good shape like that, definitely looking like favorites almost going into the rest of their matches for the group stage here.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
here we are with our interview in just a second as well. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, both of you.
Hello.
We have two great players, some great performances. How are you guys feeling after that match?
Great.
Yeah, great.
Feeling good? Feeling confident into the next match as well?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if I can play it, but yeah.
Sure. Well, good that you're looking in shape though. I had a question about the Ramatra comp. How confident are you guys feeling? So you look absolutely confident.
Yeah, I think Ram is for me like one of the more comfortable heroes. Definitely, and it's just plays into our strength of playing together quite a lot, and yeah.
I think we've played Rem in like a sim comp for like a year straight or something.
Yeah,
hella
that's
long. It's like I've only played Ram comps with this guy.
So how was the feeling when you got the
Maybe
stim
we're
ban?
even a Ram
Sorry.
1-trick team.
I was going to ask the same thing actually.
Yeah. Yeah, how are you guys feeling with the stim ban?
Like
sorry,
me, or...
I didn't hear.
Yeah, if we'll go from the top then. Yeah, we'll go from the top then. I'd say, how are you feeling with the sim ban, especially like the adaptations to that? You ready for that?
Yeah, but we banned sim. So.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Wait, so how'd that happen then?
Our player who normally plays sim wasn't here today, and so we just thought, okay, we're definitely confident in the like Ram or Zarya comms on especially Li Chang, but it can be quite easily outplayed if the other team plays something like Ram Zim. So we just wanted to take away that option. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's also like more of a fun team we have this time around. So I don't know. I think we're just like playing random comps that are fun more than any specific comps.
Yeah, of course. Ember, you have any questions from
I mean, it was more so going to be a comment of like, how did you guys feel on like Suravasa when you saw Shinzoku pull out that ball?
Oh, that ball was crazy.
Yeah, the ball gameplay was crazy.
It's like actually, I would describe it like people would describe King Bon in his prime. Okay. It was really scary.
Yeah, the ball was definitely the most scary.
Yeah. He just like was everywhere all at once, and always contested me.
Yeah,
so
also
how
like
do you feel
stats-wise,
adapting to that?
And it was a really good match. Suravasa.
Yeah, Suravasa was intense.
Mm.
Also,
Yeah.
like stats wise, in the end, like I think most had like 4 to 5 ults that game, and like the ball 8, I think, which was just insane. Like every fight, it was no way they already have ball ult, and then it was
Yeah.
mines down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Now
insane.
we have
Stole the show.
a question from one of our casters, Smixon. He asks, how you guys were able to set Mo stack up on such aggressive angles without him getting punished.
Oh, it's easy. They just didn't contest the angles at all.
Okay.
I mean, playing into a cast like that, I wouldn't either, to be fair.
I knew I could
Definitely
just
feel very
perma
comfortable in
flank
that.
because I had limit tested a bit.
Mm.
But against the
Mm.
ball, like the ball, he wouldn't allow that too much.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, was
Yeah,
that when
Pino-
the Shion swap went out? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my beloved hero got banned.
Mm.
But I mean, I was on some angles there, but it was a lot harder.
Mm.
Yeah.
Definitely pressure was on that map. Another smaller side as well. Apparently, Obito was dropping 30 emotes on that last map. What was happening there?
Oh.
You guys feeling confident and comfortable?
No, we just saw that in the end there is a stat for emote. We just said, okay, let's just emote or so.
Oh my
I
god!
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't see
But
that
we
either.
didn't
Imagine have to do a
notice
run back,
the
like a
emote
montage.
number
How he
any
did
as
that.
well. We have no idea how he did that.
Maybe there's like a
30
quick emote he canceled or something, like the mic drop or
30
something.
30 is impressive.
There's no way he did full emotes, right? No way.
Yeah, it can't be.
It's
You guys
probably
would've
just like
noticed while
animation
we're casting,
canceling
surely.
Mitzi or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the-
probably.
The emote meta goes crazy.
there's a thematic to this one.
Might
Yeah,
be broken.
I definitely gonna do a watch review only for the emote because I have also no idea how he did that.
So here you should have used present instead of Mitzi.
Getting
But yeah, I mean-
specific with the emo meta.
Maybe it was some kind of dark magic to clear the angles from, you know. He like stole all of the attention.
Yeah, that was how you won the map,
Frank.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
any
think
last questions?
No. I was just gonna mention about how our socials.
Yeah, we'll pass this over real quick. Adzi, and any Mustak, any contact comments? Jesus, pardon me. Any comments from the team towards any opponents potentially for the future?
Yeah, it was definitely
Within
a very interesting match. Even though it was only like a 3-0, there was definitely a few very close fights, especially on Silverosa. The ball was crazy, like once again. We definitely had a lot of
Did
fun,
solo
and
ult from Obito on me. Was actually insane.
yeah,
I don't know if you saw that.
Mhm.
Gonna remember
yeah,
that in my sleep.
definitely excited for any future match that might occur.
All right. On that note, thank you very much for the interview. Thank you very much for talking to us, and incredibly well played in that match. We hope you two have a lovely rest of your evening.
Likewise,
Yeah,
likewise.
Thank you very much. Likewise.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Peace.
On that note, Ember.
Yeah, I mean we've got a lot of socials for me to get through. I don't have a list, I've just got it off by heart. But we've got our Twitter for any announcements of upcoming games. We've got the Crown Cup Esports YouTube channel where you can catch up on your favorite team, or you know, if you want to look back and see how said player has gotten better, or you know, we've got Twitch, which is here. If you just give us a follow, you'll get a notification every time we're live. And yeah, I think that's all.
All right.
Oh,
As you heard, make
also,
sure-
and also the Faceit.gg the sponsor code that we have just down there, I believe. No, wrong side. Just down there, I believe. If you use ESEA Crown Cup ESEA Crown Cup Esports, you can get 10% off of your I believe it's your Faceit League subscription. But yeah, if you use that, you help out the production team here and help make this all possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of as well, well, I guess not really speaking of, but getting you involved in the action just like we were in Crown Cup here. Make sure you tune in for the next match as well. It'll be just as exciting as this one. Any closing comments from you, Ender?
No. I mean, I don't have anything off the top of my head.
No, well, as they say, the shades stay under in Crown Cup. Hope you guys have a lovely evening. This is me out.